He's Sal Paolantonio, ESPN national correspondent covering the NFL matchup host, and he joins us. Happy New Year. Sal, is it a Happy New Year in Philadelphia today?
It is not. It is definitely not. I think everywhere I go, every radio station I listen to, my friends are texting me. People have a sour taste in their mouth this morning after what happened last night in South Philadelphia.
If this wasn't on national TV last night, there's a national uproar because the integrity of the game, and it doesn't sound like Doug Peterson's telling the truth. But the fact it's a standalone game, everybody has an opinion on this. If this was a 1:00 game, would there be this much outrage?
Well, it was on national TV, so I think there's justifiable outrage. I personally do. And I think there's sadness at the same time. Let me explain myself, Dan. Okay. Let me explain myself. I know the sacrifices that the players and the coaches and the team officials around the league made this year and their families to put on 256 football games in a regular season. I know the sacrifices that my colleagues at ESPN and other communications companies and reporters from all over had to make. I know the sacrifices me and my family had to make. Wearing a mask everywhere you go, looking for an enemy that has no perimeter, where everything is a possible threat to your life and health all of the time. And I thought that the league and the Players Association did a magnificent job in the pandemic to put on the 256 games. And this was the last game. This was number 256. And it was supposed to be a celebration of the ending of a regular season in a pandemic, if you could do that, and also of the greatness of Ron Rivera coming back from cancer to win the division, and the greatness of the struggle of Alex Smith, the 17 leg surgeries, hardly can walk, was going to maybe lose his leg, his career, perhaps his life, comes back and wins the game. And instead, we're talking about this. And that's where the sadness part comes in. So, if I'm the NFL, if I'm Roger Goodell, I'm putting on my Kennesaw Mountain Landis pants on right now.
Uh-oh.
And I'm doing a forensic investigation of what went down.
You're being serious?
Totally. 2,000%.
What could the punishment be?
Well, that's a good question. Let's not jump to punishment yet. Let's just find out what happened here. Because if you're saying to me that you were playing to win the game, well, then really, who's buying that?
So you think Doug Peterson was lying? Well, it was a must-lie situation after the game, Sal.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to go there. I just want to know what happened. Okay. I think people want to know. I think people have a right to know, don't you?
Well, I would have, if you want to see what you have in Nate Sudfeld, then start him. Don't bring him in with, you're down 3 points. And, I mean, you could have made this decision on a Tuesday or Wednesday and say, we want to see what we have with him, not bring him in where they're throwing him into the fire in more ways than one at that stage of the game. That's my problem with it. You want to play the guy, play the guy. Let the Washington team know Nate Sudfeld's going to be the starter. But don't tell me he gives you a better chance to win the game than Jalen Hurts does.
Oh, there's no question about it. I agree with you. You should have started him if you wanted to play him. This is the first opportunity the young man's had to play all year long.
Yeah.
I actually went through the media guide trying to find out if he had thrown a pass up to this point, and he had not. So, I mean, I think it's worth the time of the league to find out what happened.
You know what's weird, though, Sal, is we yell at the Jags if they try to win a game. We criticize the Jets if they try to win a game. And then we're critical of the Eagles who didn't really care about trying to win the game. Like,
Yeah, but I'm not. You didn't hear me, or I think people who are. I didn't criticize the Jets for going out there and beating the Rams. Far from it. I didn't. And I think that people who are interested in protecting the integrity of the game know that Herm Edwards was right. Hello, you play to win the game.
What should Eagle ownership do?
Well, that's the big question, right? I mean, that's why I think the league needs to make a phone call, find out what happened here. Where was this decision made, and how was it made? Because I think, the outrage is justifiable, but there's also an element of sadness here. And I think everybody needs to just take a step back and find out what happened. If it was done with the full knowledge of the organization, or did the head coach just make this decision to insert Nate Sudfeld and not kick the field goal to tie the game?
Oh, I know.
That was another decision.
I know. Play calling.
So I don't think that what I'm saying is terribly off piste here. I think it's people. If you were in Philly this morning, and these are Philadelphia Eagles fans, people who support the team, people are outraged, Dan.
I didn't know that they would be outraged unless they felt embarrassed or whatever that feeling is, because you improved your draft stock. You don't like the Giants. You didn't want the Giants to make the play. Like, I don't know how petty it gets. I'm not involved in that rivalry, but it feels like it was mission accomplished by the Eagles organization last night.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's taken that view.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think anybody's taken that view. I haven't heard it publicly. I haven't heard it publicly stated or at all. Zero. I mean, I've been listening all morning, and I've been getting texts from friends and talking to people who are Eagles fans. You got to remember, I was a reporter at the Philadelphia Inquirer. I came to Philadelphia as a reporter. I don't have any skin in the game. I'm not an Eagles fan. I'm not a Giants fan. I'm not a Washington football team fan. I'm just looking at this as, okay, what happened here? Let's find out what happened. I think people want to know. People deserve an explanation. Within mutually exclusive of it was a nationally televised game, mutually exclusive that it happened at the end of the season where a lot of people put their health and safety on the line to complete the season. I think you just look at it from the standpoint of, was this decision made really to win the game, or did Doug Peterson turn himself into Sam Hinkie?
I think it's I shouldn't laugh, but
they're only how many games in the NBA? 72. So there's only 16. I mean, this kind of stuff is not supposed to happen in the National Football League. We have this. I don't have to remind you. We see it all the time, Dan. There's not millions, but billions a year bet on the NFL, and it's now big business that the NFL is part of.
No, you bring up these are valid points. And the NFL knows that it has a problem, and when they go to 17 games, you're going to have more meaningless games. There's
yes.
Like that.
Yes, absolutely. If for no other reason than to send a message that this kind of stuff can't happen at the end of the year, because we are going to add another game.
Yeah, no.
You have to at least do due diligence and find out what happened here, because you're trying to protect a lot of people and a lot of money.
I'll leave you with this. If you're a team looking for a quarterback, would you trade for Carson Wentz?
Absolutely.
No matter what the price is?
Well, obviously, the price has to be right, and the circumstances have to be right. But if I'm Frank Reich, and I know Phillip Rivers is retiring, and he's going to go into the broadcast booth or wherever, I'm trading for Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
He's your best option. Carson Wentz is a hard-working, hard-nosed, tough football player. Does he have flaws? Yes. He's not Joe Montana. He's not Johnny Unitas. He has some flaws that can be fixed and coached up. He's just turned 28. He's got probably 10, if he protects himself and he's protected properly, 10 to 12 years to play in the current NFL. He has a strong arm, and, he needs to be coached up. And we all need, at some point, Dan, in our lives, a change of venue. We all need a fresh start. Doesn't matter what it is. Not all of us can spend 25 years at ESPN like me.
Thanks.
Hey, Happy New Year,
You
Dan.
too.
And
You
everybody
too.
there, to my man Todd, and I love you guys. Thank you for reaching out, but you have to somewhat agree with me that this is not done. It's not over. There needs to be a follow-up somewhere along the line. Now, Doug Peterson and Howie Roseman are going to speak on a Zoom call in about 11 minutes from the NovaCare facility. I'm interested to see what kind of questions they get and what kind of answers they have. But this is something that's outraged people who support the team, is what I'm trying to say to you.
I appreciate you joining us, and thank you. At this, I think we're going to take a vote. Is this the best segment we've had so far?
2021?
2021?
Down. No doubt.
No doubt? Okay. Well, congratulations. Yes, Eaton.
Top 3 for sure.
Top 3 segments so far this year, Sal.
In a millisecond, Todd, I went from best segment to top 3. I mean, the words didn't even come out of the big man's mouth, and I was down to top 3. I better get off the phone before I go to top 5.
Yes, because we've been on the air for 80 minutes in 2021. Don't screw it up. Don't pull a Doug Peterson here, all right?
Gotcha.
All right. Thank you, Sal. That's Sal Paolantonio on loan for the mothership.